What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Daily Rage Quit. I'm your host, Weiss, and alongside me, the one, the only, Steelman.
What's up, y'all?
And today, everybody, we're going to go over our reactions and our thoughts on CD Projekt's brand new IP, Cyberpunk 2077. And let's just put this out there. This game has been in development for 8 or more years since we got the first weird trailer. We had no idea what it was. And now it's getting to the pinnacle point where we've seen so much gameplay. We've heard so much about the game. The developers are speaking about it that now we are all set and prepared to rip through this game at the end of this year in the holiday season.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game that's been on our radars for a long time. It's obviously, like you said, been in development for a really long time. I'm excited to see what they can come up with. I mean, obviously, we've seen awesome game footage so far, and that's pretty cool of them to share that with us that early on. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I can't wait.
Yeah, if there's anything that Steelman and I agree on, is that a company, especially like CD Projekt, they are 100% focused on releasing the most quality game they can produce. You've seen it through the Witcher series. You've seen it methodically through their Netflix deal in The Witcher as well. Like, they are accustomed to putting as much quality into games as possible. It's not about speed of production. They will delay a game for as long as possible, as long as it's launched the right way. And based off of all the marketing they've done over the past several years, and based off of what we've seen, this game looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I mean, in many ways, CD Projekt is the anti-EA of the industry. Like, they just do the opposite of EA, and like they give the fans what they want. They don't cheap out on their fans. They wait to put games out that are actually finished, which is something EA hasn't done in a really long time. The EA has these huge day one updates and all that, but it's really nice to see a company that's actually invested in what their customers want and care about, and giving them the product that they pay for, and in some cases more. Like, I mean, they've already come out and said that Xbox and PlayStation, if you play the game on PS4 or Xbox One right now, you'll be able to play it on PS5 and Xbox X, like, and for free. Like, you're not gonna make you pay for 2 games. Like, how cool is that? Like, I mean, no one does that. So awesome, good on them.
It's a trend I think that will stick because they're smart enough. I mean, look at them right now. For all those of you that are watching this video, CD Projekt is the leading game company from profitability in Europe. So they recently surpassed Ubisoft, which by all means, they are an incredible company as well. They launch killer games, but it's really interesting to watch a company who doesn't launch as many games, but releasing quality, just bringing something new to the realm. And I think they're going to really start a new trend that's going to be different. You see similar companies like Naughty Dog, they're all about quality, not about how fast the production goes. And I think we're going to see in the next several years, so y'all, if you're watching this 3 years from now, this is probably going to be true, quality of games is just going to get better because they're going to sell better. Because us gamers, we need something new. And talking about new, it is absolutely refreshing for CD Projekt to give us a brand new IP, something that's not out there. It has a mix of certain things. I like to look at it as like it has a blend of Deus Ex, obviously for the body modifications, with Elder Scrolls and how you can navigate through this gigantic map and talk to everybody that's in there and they have personalities. I think they're just raising the bar dramatically with this game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this before. Like, how many times do you see new IPs like these days? I mean, you don't see them a lot. Like, you get the same run-of-the-mill crap every year. And like some of those games are great. Like they're awesome games. Like, you know, you get the good Call of Duties, you get the good Assassin's Creeds, you get the Battlefields, and you know all those other ones that have been going on for decades. But you know, those games are all just kind of like crank them out type stuff. This is a new IP. Someone's actually come up with this idea, or multiple people have come up with this idea, put it on paper, and they've created a world from nothing. You know, obviously, yeah, it's impossible to create something that's 100% original, but you know, it takes elements from other games. But you have a new story, a new world, a totally new concept. I just think that part is just so cool to see that somebody is put a lot of time into this. I mean, you have these characters that are obviously living in this world, like a GTA or Red Dead Redemption, where they're like, they live in this world, they have a day and night cycle. These characters come out of their homes, they do stuff, they go back, like they all have their little things going on. You're just mixed in there, and you can interact with any of them when you see fit. I think that's just a cool concept that's growing, and a lot of people are doing these open world type games, but not like this. You know, this game obviously, you said it took 8 years to develop, plus maybe like you don't get anything basic out of 8 years of development. And good for them for saying like, yeah, we'll take 8 years to develop a game, and we're not going to put out games every single year. But when we do, like, our games are going to sell. Like, people are going to buy them, and we'll make our money, and we'll, you know, profit from it. But we're not going to put out crap to do it. We're going to put out something unique and something great, and that's what we have here.
And I think to add to that, Steelman, because they took so long, I think they think about the longevity of the game. How long are people going to play Cyberpunk? I think this is a game where they're going to release content nonstop, right? And especially as technology continues to develop and things get faster, they're going to be able to put out stuff for this game that I think is going to make it last just as long as the Witcher series. I think it's definitely going to have that momentum on its side. Now, going back to our thoughts and reactions, someone brought up something that was super important, which is the AI. The AI looked great, and that really comes from their thoughts around the gameplay itself. For those of you who have not seen any of the gameplay of Cyberpunk, literally stop this video, open up a new tab, right? Open up a new tab because you live on a different fucking planet, and go look up Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay, and there's tons of content out there. It is important for you to see it because they have methodically thought about the gameplay in a very different fashion. I mean, first of all, they're showing more gameplay than anyone else ever has, like Steelman said earlier. But when you see the gameplay itself, it's beautiful, which we'll talk about the graphics, but also the fluidity and also your choices that you have. There's a lot of choice making in this game. And so whether if you want to go guns blazing, which looks awesome, you can blow off people's fucking heads. That's so sick. Or you could be methodical and use your enhanced body mechanisms to actually go in and, penetrate the security system, or perhaps maybe change the way in which the AI interacts with each other is just so thoughtful. And I think every movement, every single thing that you do in that game, there was more than enough thought put into it.
Yeah, I mean, you see the cool elements of this where it's like in that 45-minute gameplay footage of, the person jamming someone's gun. They hack their gun and they jam the gun, and then they go down and stab one guy, and the other guy's trying to shoot and his gun's jammed. He can't shoot. And then, I mean, it's just, that's so cool. It's so thoughtful. Or the guy who's lifting weights and the bar drops on it, and he's can't get up because you hacked the weightlifting thing. Like, I think that's just neat. Like, it's cool to, you can kind of choose your path. You don't have to go guns blazing all the time, or you can go stealth, or you can do whatever you want. And you can do a mixture of both. But then, you obviously need to upgrade your stuff accordingly. So I guess you probably have to be careful which direction you choose. But that's just cool. And the other part of what you said is another thing that they do that other companies don't do. Like, how many companies 2 years before the game's released are putting out 45 minutes of actual gameplay footage, right? And are saying, here, have at it. There's enough content in our game that you're not gonna remember this, or it's not gonna be that influential. Here, have at it. Here's 45 minutes. that's just cool. Like usually you see 15 minutes, it's 3 months before a game comes out, and that's all you get. And like they're like an open book, like, hey, here, check it out. And because they know people are going to be like, holy shit, this is awesome, I can't wait to play this, and not be like, well, I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. Like, obviously they're going to pull it off.
Hell yeah, they're not only going to be able to pull it off, but for those of you that are now starting to watch all those videos, don't worry. There's no spoilers. The game's going to be so fucking big that they can launch a 45-minute gameplay trailer and not be impacted by it. So just remember that as you're watching those videos and you're like, oh, I don't want to spoil the gameplay or anything like that. Don't worry about it, dude. Like, just go watch it, and you're going to just be like, holy shit, this game's going to be fucking awesome. Now, talking about awesome, one thing that really stood out to me, which is just the gamer in me, is the graphics. This game could potentially be the most beautiful game I have seen. And we say that a lot because every time a new game comes out, it's like, that's the most beautiful game I've seen. This game is just, it's too outrageous, right? It is ambitious, it is big, and we talked earlier about thoughtfulness. CD Projekt and that dev team thought about everything, to every nook and cranny. There's nothing that looks like every stone has been flipped, every stone has been touched. So now we get to see this gameplay. We get to see the graphics. And the most recent gameplay trailer was in 4K, and that game looked fluid as shit. It looked clean. It clean in a dirty way because the environment you're in is pretty dirty. But that is what's so cool about it. There is just too much attention to detail that I can't even put it into words right now. That's how good it looks.
Yeah, it looked absolutely beautiful. I mean, you get that very neon sign vibe going on, like this is the future, everything's super bright and in your face, and like it just looks really cool. I think the one thing they really kind of brought up that had me surprised yesterday is that there's this surrounding area in Night City that you have, and you're in the desert, and there's like I think it's the Free State of North California, they call it. And it's like outside is like the Badlands, and it's just like a deserted desert, and there's people living out there. And like, so like, not only do you have the city now, you've started to see that there's more to this world there's outside the city as well. So, how big is this world? I'm kind of starting to ask myself. It seems a lot bigger. And we know, if we know anything from like their previous projects, like The Witcher, like obviously they can make big worlds, like these worlds that are just massive, like it takes forever to explore. So kind of curious to see where this goes. Like, how big is this world that we have? It could be huge. So I'm excited to figure that out too. I really want to dive into this game when it comes out.
Hell yeah. And one of the reasons why I want to dive into the game, and this is something that is personal to me and probably personal to a lot of people that play RPGs, something of this magnitude, is the development of your character. So, of course, they have the developer trees, right? You set up your character a certain way based off of, the equipment you wear and all that. But I think even going further back, what's really cool about kind of immersing yourself in this world is we got a chance to see the custom making of it. So we got to see the customization, and it is so detailed. This also could be the most detailed character customization of any game. When I was watching how much you can play around with the face, the nose, everything about your character, I'm gonna end up creating, Steelman, something that looks exactly like me. Bald, beard, probably all tatted up, a little bit muscular. Come on, I gotta have a little fantasy in my life that I look a lot bigger than I thought. But in the end, it'll be really cool to see how much time you can invest into that.
Yeah, I don't know why, and when this started, because when I was a kid, I didn't give a shit about character customization, and now I'm going to spend probably 2 hours doing this. It was funny. I was watching a Dr. Disrespect video the other day, and he was like, dude, I'm going to do a stream. Get ready, everybody. 5 hours. It's just going to be me customizing my character. I don't care if you guys don't like it. I'm going to do it. And I'm like, you know what? That's probably going to be me. I'm probably going to be all right, I need to make sure all like the hair and everything, like not like me. I just want to make something crazy and outrageous. So I think that's always cool to have that now. I don't know why I like it now. I just enjoy it. It's fun. Um, yeah, it's one of those things that it adds to the game. I think another thing that is worth saying too is that CD Projekt's done really a cool job of it is coming in and grabbing a bunch of like well-known underground musical artists and then being like, hey, you guys, go ham on this here, like create up some songs for our game. I mean, you have Run the Jewels, Grimes, ASAP Rocky, Ian Rubin. I mean, like, and there's a ton more. Like, there's so many artists that are going to work on this. Like, how cool is that they're like, all right, like, we want to create our own music that plays in our game because we're creating a new world. Like, we don't have music from the old world in our game. We have our own music that's been created by artists that you're familiar with in our game. Like, how cool is that? Like, how dope is that where they're like, yes, like, we need to think of everything, and we did, and like, there it is, new music. So I think it's just fantastic.
Music is a super important part. I mean,
So
music
important.
and audio just immerse you even more. I just want to see Keanu Reeves, like dancing and like fighting and killing people to like something like outrageous, upbeat, like heavy song, just like, and then he's just like slashing and killing people. That'd be awesome. A little John Wick moment in Cyberpunk.
I mean, that's another cool thing. Like having Keanu Reeves star in the video game. Like,
Yes.
what a perfect role. Like, what a perfect like thing for him to do. Like, everyone loves it, and everyone's like obsessed with that and that move. And it was such a great move on their part.
Keanu Reeves is beloved by
Hmm.
everybody.
It's
I've
very
met
true.
anybody that hates him. And if you do
Yeah.
hate him, put it in the comments
Yeah.
down below, and then we're going to roast the shit out of you.
Yeah. You better have your personal life and finances airtight because we're no stops. We're coming after you if you
Nope,
think that.
you're done. So, guys, overall, from a reaction standpoint, at least from my point of view, this is a day one purchase. And let me just clear the slate for everybody who's watching this. I am not an RPG type of guy. I
Same.
am normally a running, gunning, put me in a fast paced game. I don't like to, for an hour or two, like to jump off and do other stuff. I am actually going to buy this game and I'm going to play it all the way through. I think it's
Same.
a
Yeah.
game that we trust CD Projekt. We trust what they're going to put out. What we've seen has just been absolutely incredible. And it's a day one. It's a day one purchase, no doubt. And I'll throw it down here on the Daily Rage Quit. This is game of the year.
I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, you spend 8 years on a video game, and you'd hope that that's the case. And I'm with you. I'm not an RPG guy either, to be honest, and I think that says a lot. Like both of us being like, yeah, like RPGs kind of aren't our thing. Like they usually bore me, to be honest, but like nothing looks boring about this. I'll play it all the way through, and I'll buy it day one for sure. Like it's definitely going to be worth every penny.
Excellent. Well, everybody, there are the reactions from the Daily Rage Quit. Y'all, thank you very much for tuning into our episode on our reactions to Cyberpunk 2077, launching this year, not only on the current gen, but next gen as well. So always just remember, if you purchase it on the current gen, you get it for free on the next one. So just keep that one
Might
in
as well
mind.
do it.
Yep. Fuck yeah. Be sure to subscribe down below. We want to keep these videos going, keep you entertained. Be sure to like or dislike our shit. We want to make sure we know if we're doing a good job or not. And of course, comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077, and let's have a good time with it. But everyone here from the Daily Rage Quit saying peace.